share swap or exchange, the valuation of the both companies should be done by the recognized value authority or valuer. Obviously, last sentence, investment in Pakistan is not allowed. If you want to do business in Nepal or Bhutan, it should be in an Indian currency. There is no registration is necessary, but when you do the first transactions as a company investing out of India, the government gives you an unique identification number, and that identification numbers basically tracks all your transactions, the money you are taking in and out. So the data which you see, the beginning of that one, that's where the RBI generates the data on a monthly basis. There are certain areas in which the government of India or RBI doesn't allow the investment unless you take the permission from the RBI. So if it is an energy and natural resources and investment is more than 400% than total net worth, then you must take the RBI permission. The other one is where investment is not allowed by automatic route, is investment in overseas unincorporated entities in the oil sectors by resident corporations exceeding 400% of their net worth. An overseas investment by proprietorship concerns and unregistered partnership firm satisfies certain eligible criteria. So what does it say here is that if you are a proprietor here in India, and if you are even a partnership, but if it is not registered under the Partnership Act of India, then you are not allowed to take the money out of India automatically, but you have to take the RBI permissions. Investment by registered trusts or societies engage in the manufacturing or education or healthcare sectors in joint ventures or wholly owned subsidiaries outside India, investment has to be in the same sector of activity. So in these sectors, if you want to make an investment out of India, you need to take the permission from RBI. Now when you are making an investment out of India, obviously the question comes the money, how do we make the money? So this slide basically shows that it's not necessary that you need to have your own money in your bank converted into an US dollars or pound sterling or an Australian dollars and you make an investment. There are a variety of ways you can have a holdings or ownership of the foreign company. Withdrawal of, this is the first one which I told everybody is understand, withdrawal of foreign exchange from an authorized dealer bank in India. That means your account is with one particular bank, say HDFC Banks or ICICI Bank, and as a company you go and tell them that in Africa or in Dubai we have made this joint ventures and we want to transfer $1 million and you you make the investment into foreign country. But the second one which they are talking about is swap of shares. That you don't have to take the money out, you do the swap of shares, which I just explained to you in the earlier slide. That is also possible. Capitalization of exports and other dues entitlements. Say for example, you are a company involved into export. And now it is possible that you can hold your money or a remittance in a foreign countries, open an account and keep it there, right? So if you have generated money there and money is sitting there in a foreign country, that money you can use it, you don't have to use your Indian money, you can use that money to make an investment into a foreign corporations or foreign company. Proceeds of the external commercial borrowings or foreign currency convertible bonds. So if you are getting a money from the bonds or anything like that, that's also possible. In exchange of ADRs or GDRs issued in accordance with the scheme of issuance, which I explained to you before, that if it is a borrowed money, then also you can do it. Balance held in exchange earned foreign currency accounts of the Indian party and maintained with the authorized dealers. So for example, you are having a foreign currency account as a company in India. Through that one also you can make an investment outside. For proceeds of the foreign currency fund raised through the ADR and GDR. So for example, after this share swap, you got the money, and now you don't want to bring that money to India, but you want to make investment somewhere else because you sold your shares. That is also allowed. This is something interesting for many small, medium-sized companies because they may not be a private limited company but might be a partnership firm. So as a partnership firms registered under the Indian Partnership Act can make an overseas direct investment subject to the same terms and conditions as applicable to the corporate entities. But it should be registered. Many of the partnership firms we may see that may not be registered, so they may not have a possibility to make an investment. Individual partners can hold a share for or on behalf of the firm in overseas joint ventures or wholly owned subsidiaries. So it's not necessary that partnership firms hold it. If you are a partner in the firms, you can hold the money abroad. Hold the shares abroad or an investment or where the entire funding for the investment has been done by the firm provided the host country regulations or operational requirement warrant such holdings. This is a very detailed regulations. What requirement is there in this slides is basically Indian parties will need to comply with these rules. Basically, if you have taken the money out, bring the money back or the foreign currency out, bring it back to India. If you are making an investment, if there is a dividend royalty being paid or technical fees being paid, that needs to be remitted to the India. So the idea of this checking is, I don't want to go through the whole slides and bore you, but it's basically idea is to bring the money or the foreign currency, foreign exchange back in India. Now this is something more interesting for an individual base as well. By automatic route, limit of 75,000 US dollar per person, all other remittance is not allowed. So if you are an individual, now if you want to make an investment into a stock in London or in Hong Kong or in New York stock market, you can do it. If you want to hold a house or buy an apartment in any foreign country, you can do it. And up till 14th August, the requirement was $200,000. But as the rupee was going down, the government reduced it to right now up to $200,000 to $75,000. And that is per person per year. So if you are in a family members of 4 or 5, probably you can make a bigger investment. So if it's a husband, wife, and 2 children, you can do it. You can give it as a gift as well. Also very interesting that many of your friends, relatives, or particularly your close relatives, your children, are studying abroad. When they are studying abroad and if they stay 182 days out of India, for the Indian tax purpose, they become an NRI. And once you become an NRI, as a parent, you can transfer up to $1 million in his account. That is the new RBI approved permissions. So you can give them a gift, you can liquidate your assets, and if you want to transfer it, you can do it up to $1 million. Right now, the investment in real estate as such is not allowed. If the transactions were already going on, then you can conclude it. But right now, the government has stopped it that you cannot make an investment into real estate. Residential individual can acquire or sell foreign securities without prior approval in the following cases. If it is a gift from a person residing outside India, if it is by way of an employee stock options plan issued by a company incorporated outside India under cashless employee stock option scheme which does not involve any remittance from India. So as an individual also, like if you want to purchase a stock, you can do it. But if you are working for a multinational company, and that company, rather than giving you a pay rise, many IT companies, technical companies gives you a stock options. Might have heard, most of you might have heard about it. So that you can hold it. Before it wasn't allowed. You cannot hold the foreign stocks. Now under the schemes, as an individual, you can hold the stocks.